My name is Mark Bridges. I'm from here. I'm from Athens. I would really love to write for film. I haven't actually worked much with screenwriting in the media program, but I've taken a bunch of writing classes and just basic studies and work on my own to kind of lead me to that decision to kind of focus more on the developmental side of filmmaking, really. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a screenwriter yet. I'm still pretty new. I haven't written much, mainly because it takes a lot out of you to really get what you want out of your own work and stuff. I've written a couple things here and there. Some stuff I'm pretty proud of. See, my desire with writing is to develop Old Testament and kind of biblical style stories, but I want to transplant them into a setting where it's universally relatable. Like a lot of times I think people, when they look at the Bible, they just see it as kind of as fantasy and as just like tales and legends and stuff. But if you really dig deep and really look at these characters and these people, they're not just characters. Like they had real struggles and real issues and for me that's what draws me to them, because they don't seem so distant now. They don't just look like words on a piece of paper. They're actually they had real lives, and I think some of these lives are worth showing to people on a broad scale. The first screenplay I wrote, it's a post-apocalyptic interpretation of the Adam and Eve story. I think it's a beautiful story, just in and of itself. And one of these questions that I was kind of pondering as I was trying to figure out what did I want to write is that what was Adam going through before he met Eve, up until the point where he meets her. He's if anyone knows the story, I'm sure many people do. Adam was the first man on earth. No one else, and then all of a sudden here comes this strange woman that is placed in his life. And I think my question when kind of writing this was like, oh man, like what was his reaction to that? And so I really sought that out and placed that story, that kind of skeletal outline, into like a post-apocalyptic setting where the world is more or less gone, and this guy is just left out by himself, and he stumbles upon this other survivor, and he doesn't really know what to expect of her, doesn't really know what to do with it. Writing the stories, I have to kind of pull from my own heart, my own questions and stuff with writing my characters. A lot of times my characters will have just issues with doubt and fear and just frustrations about just everything that's going on with their lives and stuff. And I think that's why I choose to write about that, because I feel like everyone has these questions, everyone has these doubts. Whether it's with your career, whether it's with a relationship with another person, just stuff like that I think, especially at this age, just as college students, I think a lot of us are going through those things, whether we like to declare that or not. Those questions, those anxieties are still there, and a lot of times it's relieving to lay those out onto print, to kind of be able to write that out and kind of help see someone else go through that kind of thing, and see if you can find some salvation for that person. I don't really go for the cliche, just like happy ending all the time, but I think that because I like to input to place my faith and my beliefs into my stories, that there's always room for hope and for just a I don't know, freedom by the end of the story for the characters. what that means, I don't know. It honestly just it'll have to depend on where the story goes. But I think that, you know, the world around us a lot of times gets pretty dull and gets pretty dark and bleak. And I think that being able to write about these characters really makes me feel like I'm kind of letting people see that there's hope and like I said, freedom from from whatever doubts and troubles they're having and stuff. And I like being able to offer that through these characters that I think people will actually really love.